This is Hannibal here with a daily wrestling news update. More signs of the fall of AEW with their Collision taping that was scheduled for this week at the 20,000 seat nationwide arena in Columbus, Ohio, being canceled. And they are now going to do the taping at a Comic-Con at a Columbus, Ohio convention center. So going to an arena to a Comic-Con. The other weird thing about AEW is past the week of December 12th, there's been no further events announced other than the Tokyo Dome event coming up in January. So it's weird. They have TV shows every week. I know Rampage is getting canceled soon, but they do have Collision and Dynamite every week. But in less than a month is their last taping. And there's nothing further announced. So it's like, are they just going to get another residency somewhere like they did in Arlington, Texas before, where you have like a small crowd and it's the same place every week? Or sometime soon, are they just going to announce like 2 or 3 months worth of dates? Or are they just going to show reruns for the second half of December? Who knows? But it's not looking good. I did watch a few clips from Dynamite last night. Orange Cassidy is talking now, apparently. And the funniest thing was John Moxley was doing a promo and people were chanting, "Go back to Roman." It's kind of funny. AEW Dynamite, they were up in ratings this week, though, 0.22. NXT was down 0.16. NXT, and again, I'm neutral, okay? I might actually go to the AEW Dynamite taping in Kansas City coming up in December because I'm going to be in the area. And I do wish them luck. I actually like Tony Khan as a person. And I have a friend that is very close to a lot of people in AEW. And I like that guy a lot. He's one of my best friends. So I have nothing against AEW. I just think, quite honestly, that they keep going down this same path, expecting the same results. People don't like this path that they're going down. Got to change if it's not getting you the results. And go through and fire a bunch of these guys that are either just sitting at home or are not over, and give other people chances. And I'm not just saying that because I think people like me could do a lot better than a lot of the people that they have under contract. But NXT, so here's where I'm going to say I'm not biased. I saw NXT from ECW Arena. It was cool. And I've watched a bunch of clips that WWE has put out from behind the scenes at the ECW Arena with ECW people. I like that as an ECW fan. And I like a lot of people I know, like RVD and Nunzio were in it. So I kind of like seeing them on WWE programming. But this week, honestly, I was on in the gym last night. Brian Pillman Jr. against someone. They're doing these weakest looking forearms ever. And after their match, I mean, and I also mentioned that maybe it was last night or the night before. There was another thing where these women did something where one of them stood on their tag team partner's shoulders and dove to the outside, and the people on the outside seemed like they were standing there forever waiting to catch them. It didn't look realistic at all. But anyways, the one thing I hate about wrestling is the handshakes after the match. I mean, they had a match, Brian Pillman and this other guy who I don't know who it was. To me, it was nothing special. And then after the match, you're going to shake hands. It's like, we don't watch wrestling for sportsmanship. It's fake. And when the match isn't even good, what are you shaking hands for? Hey, we had a crappy match, really weak looking forearms. So the fans are just going to cheer now because we're shaking hands at the end of the match. I don't know. I didn't like it. And I like it better when they go to real arenas. There's something about the performance center. It just looks overproduced to me. But there are some things about WWE I like. There's some I don't. I don't have a favorite company at all. I can't even watch TNA. Can't even watch MLW. Can't even watch NWA. Miro is apparently still under contract to AEW, but he's joined the Paradigm or Paragon talent agency that Liv Morgan, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and others are part of. Miro is not like, I don't understand why AEW, they have people that have names like Miro, what was once a name. It's like, at least put them on TV and job them out, because they're like, people will stop flipping channels if they see someone like Miro they recognize. But to let Miro just sit at home for months and years at a time, I just don't get it. Or Pentagon is still under contract with them apparently, and they just don't use him. There's so many guys that they just don't use, and I just don't get it. Why, if they're more over than the people you are using, why don't you at least bring them in to put over the people that you want to use? Because it'll help get those guys over more. I just don't understand that. It boggles my mind. There's going to be a Saturday night main event taping, likely in San Antonio, Texas in January before the Royal Rumble. I know wrestling is really popular in San Antonio. Apparently, Dynamite had a very dead crowd last night in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And again, there's only 3 events announced in December, according to Wrestling Observer, and no dates in 2025 other than the pay-per-view in Tokyo. But they are sending more wrestlers to CMLL in December for all the fans from Canada and the US that give a crap about CMLL, which is few to none. Gable Stevenson, as I mentioned yesterday, is going for his 3rd NCAA title. He's returning to school next year. And I heard Meltzer say that he thinks Gable should just go straight into MMA because he's 24 now. Will we ever see AEW versus WWE? Never say never, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But it is a mystery. The biggest mystery is, why hasn't AEW announced any shows past December 12th? Like, what is going on there? You're getting AEW in Australia, my friend, but apparently there's tons and tons and tons of tickets left in this massive arena. I think if Australia pays WWE enough, because now it's whoever pays the most gets the shows. If they want to pay WWE enough to come to Australia, you could get a WrestleMania in Australia. And by the way, I think Outback Jack is very nice, and Nathan Jones, 2 guys that I've had interactions with, they're very nice. And you guys have a lot of beautiful women in Australia. I've known a few over the years, and I hope to go there one day. I will be back with a quick UFO news update. And if you want to hear my review of the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul press conference where Tyson slapped Jake Paul, I just did a live stream about that.